Hi everyone, this is Disha Dioxide and you are watching CEO Secrets, what made them successful and how we can make it. Today I am here with Dr Chandrashekaran, who is the chairman and managing director of Vipragen Biosciences. Today we will hear about his journey and his experiences. Was your path to success easy, sir? Was it just luck or was it hard work?
No, I think it's combination of both. I think I was lucky enough to be there at the right time, right place.
Right.
I had a fantastic teachers, starting from my school days to college days, and of course my MS days. Fantastic teachers, and then it was a journey. I would say journey was not easy. I mean, it was a long journey. I think I always looked at the possibilities. So once any person who looks at one can do, I think half job is done, right?
Right.
Generally, what happens is we feel that it's difficult to do. Moment you think that there is a possibility of doing things, and then that is the biggest step in starting something and thinking about doing something. So it was a hard work all along, putting together and finding the opportunities, getting a job. At the same time, I was lucky to get into a startup company.
Right.
I was in the fantastic ecosystem, part of the great minds around after my MS. I think I was both lucky as well as hardworking, and also had some experience in looking at that complete ecosystem. If you see it, after my MS, I joined a startup company. That company was incubated in a research center called Astra Research Center.
Right.
Astra Research Center was again incubated in IISc, Indian Institute of Science.
Right.
One of its kind facility, all the stalwarts of science were there, and then we were doing one of the first Malbio company. We were making restriction enzymes first time in the world. I mean, in India. So that was that ecosystem working for that company 12 years made me to think three things. For example, one is somebody can start a company and then survive, and then I'm seeing it's happening in front of me. And then also the second thing is the complete ecosystem of Astra, IAC, and then how these ecosystem is helping this startup company making successful. Third thing is also started thinking about why I can't also do it. It's like motivation.
Right.
Biggest motivation for me was Dr. Babu, was the founder of this first startup company, which I worked for it first time. Yeah, that was my first job after my MS.
Whoa.
Yeah, and also while working, I did my PhD in Institute of Science, Indian Institute of Science.
Oh,
that
you
was
did it
again
there
my dream.
itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
While working, I did that actually. So that was again my another dream to do. If at all I'm doing PhD, I wanted to do in IAC.
Wow.
That was a distant dream come true for me.
Wonderful. Did you ever feel like giving up on this journey, sir? And what kept you going when you felt like giving up?
Right, that's very interesting question. So, after my this startup company PhD, I joined a company called AstraZeneca. There, I got a very good experience in drug discovery space. Around 6 years, I worked there. That's a huge experience for me in terms of exposing myself to the global opportunities.
Right.
Understanding the drug discovery process in AstraZeneca. So that's when I left AstraZeneca and then started my first company called Vipragen Biosciences. From there, I had only one way, when I started my first company, I didn't have money. I was the only source of income. I left the job, and absolutely zero money. I started the company, so it was not that easy.
Right.
And there were people used to call me, I'm mad, crazy thing that I've left the job and then struggling for this. But I many times we went 1 or 2 years, and then those days I always felt that, in fact, should I take up a job kind of thing. So
Ah.
I always felt that it's only one way. Entrepreneurship, if you want to succeed, you got to go forward. So there is no way you can.
You can't think of giving up.
Giving up. There is no question of it. It never came to my mind. I should give up on my entrepreneurship journey. Yeah.
Wonderful, sir. What was your biggest obstacle and how did you overcome it, sir?
I think there are quite a few of them. For example, I told you is funding. Those days was a challenge. And second thing is, when you start a biotech company, that requires a lot of facilities, very expensive equipment, and those kind of things. Third thing is also coming up with some kind of business idea. What is that you're going to do? Because any biotech idea takes very long time.
True.
So then how do you survive without too much of funding?
Right.
So that means you have to come up with some kind of revenue model. What are those revenue models? So, and then we develop some products, do some services, bring in revenue model to take the company forward. Keeping your dream of doing some R&D, doing something interesting things, and which will actually bring more value to the company later. But sometimes what happens is your sustenance of the company becomes important. Sustaining itself is not enough. So you need to do some R&D to come up with some kind of IP.
You need to grow as well.
So those are the challenges initially we faced. Setting up lab itself was a challenge. Bringing money was a challenge. And getting people, talent for a startup company those days were very challenging because people used to like bigger companies going there, and stability was an issue for the employees. So those are the challenges I faced.
What sacrifices did you make to reach your current position, sir?
Lots of sacrifice, and especially instead of me and my wife Pushpa has done all the sacrifice. So because I was not able to spend too much of time for the family those days.
Right.
Every time traveling and setting up one or the other challenges going forward. And also there are a lot of financial challenges. Many times, you had lots of challenges in terms of finance. Personally, also you are struggling to meet the requirements.
Right.
So, and then basically not able to spend time with the family. So those are the challenges. I think instead of me sacrificing, because I was enjoying my entrepreneur journey, but the family, my mother, my parents, and my son, I was able to manage, somehow balanced both family as well as, and those 18 hours, 20 hours work, taking the company forward and those kind of things. Yeah.
What are the 3 unique skills that you think made you successful, sir?
I think the number one is my education.
Right.
And my strong basics on science. I studied, and then I had quite a good grip on the science.
Right.
The second thing is I had almost 18 years experience in the industry, especially from the startup company to bigger company like AstraZeneca. But I knew how to what are the challenges in startup company,
Right.
And also I had a chance to look at how the global company like AstraZeneca functions,
Right.
like very structured and
Organized.
organized, and HR to execution so effectively done. And what are those challenges,
Right.
kind of thing. I think this is the second important thing which I feel that reason for my success. I think the most important reason I feel that the fire in my mind that I have to do something.
Right.
I always didn't want to end up in a job. So I always wanted to start. In fact, my first company I dreamt about doing this company, and then coined this name called Enzine in '93.
Oh.
So I started this company in 2007.
Oh, that's
So I incubated my idea for almost 13-14 years.
right.
So that urge was there all along. I think I feel that urge, and then that fire in the belly was
What
the
drove
main
you?
reason
Right.
for my success. I think I say that, yeah.